Because they're over here yelling. He's like, push it. I can't push it. You push it. I can't push it. You're holding it. I'm going to push it.
I'll skip leg day.
Skip leg. You can't push on. That whole squiggly graph right there, that is all just from a ill-running, under-timed, over-rich engine. All right, so emergency dyno session for Bailey and Clan on the salt flat engine. Now that's our engine that needs to come off the dyno cart. And this is your salt flat engine. If you want to see more about the salt flat engine, go to this video right here and you can see what Tom's got going on. When are you leaving? Like
yeah, we have to be ready to go by Saturday.
So you're ready to go by Saturday. You guys are probably building the car yet. You're not done.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we picked up the engine on Friday. Like John Enns drove it down from Canada.
Yep.
And then he talked about an oiling issue or whatever at the RPM and possible with the oil pan or something. So that was NA, like he just did it NA. So we worked on getting all our stuff together on it with the Vortex supercharger. And then it's like, well, we really should dyno this on the engine and see if we can sort out the oiling issue, because he thinks a new pan will fix it, but I'm not convinced.
Might as well prove it out. Yeah, so our buddy John Enns from Schroeder Enns with our drag and drive buddies for a million years. John built the engine and they dynoed it over, they're in Canada. They dynoed it over there, just NA, but because things are such a rush.
Yeah, they literally got it together Thursday, whatever, 6 o'clock or something, because the push rods came in. They put it on the dyno like at 8 o'clock, took it off the dyno at 9 o'clock and drove all night to meet us in Wisconsin or in Iowa with the engine. So he's like, oh, here's the problems. Good luck.
So Tom calls me up on, it's Saturday? Saturday, says, hey, can we get on the dyno Monday? I said, yeah, no problem. I'll take everything off. Currently, I'm moving the entire shop out of the way so we can get Tom's stuff on the dyno. But anyways, it's all good. Said, yep, no problem. We'll come in and we'll dyno it real quick. And we have oil pan, so we're gonna try proving it out. Just make sure, because there's no sense putting a freaking oil pan on it to get it out there and figure out that wasn't the problem. So we need to prove it out. And so here too, we might dyno it with the blower on it and tune.
Yeah, so, we're going to do it with everything. Which actually, our carburetor guy fell through. So that is actually the carburetor off of my first engine that you built.
Oh, that's off
the ProCharge 540.
That's off the 540. All right.
So,
well, okay, that's fine.
So it may need some tweaks.
So we'll do a whole tune on this thing, figure out everything here, and then we'll do some real long pulls on it too. And I haven't seen that pro sleeve, like that's a great big spark plug wire. It looks weird. Anyways, we'll do some real long pulls on it, because that's what it's gonna see on the salt flats, and we'll just kind of try to figure it out. It's gonna be intercooled gas, blow through. How many cubic inch?
417.
417. So let's get after it. Whoa.
Okay.
So,
trying to use as much of their stuff as possible. Now that's my intercooler, but they didn't want to take theirs out of the car, and so but we're using their ignition system. If we can get Aiden to actually push the tube when Andy tells him to push the tube, we'd be all set because they're over here yelling. He's like, push it! I can't push it. You push it. I can't push it. You're holding it. I'm gonna push it.
I'll skip leg die.
It's skip like you can't push on me. So anyways, we are putting stuff together here and we couldn't use their headers because they came in and pushed or pointed right at my load cell and hit my starter. So got to use my headers. Not a real big significant difference there, but primarily is the carburetor and making sure that the carburetor hat is facing the right direction. These are pretty critical, so especially when they're front to back or side to side, they really affect the tune-ups on that stuff. Waiting for my O2 sensor to still get here. That was supposed to be here this morning, and to plug in a new one and get that going. And then other than that, I think we're getting pretty good here. Aiden's already looking at his watch.
He should be ready to go. Hangry.
It's the same as Kyle. It's hangry. All right, so we've already made a base run, and it looks good. It's nice that the engine is all running and everything is all set already, so that's cool. But now we're taking some timing out of it. It looks like it's going to make enough horsepower. Their goal is 1,000. Pretty easily going to make 1,000. So we're taking some timing out of it right now. We're going to try making this thing as safe as possible. The difference in between our base pull with 28 degrees of timing obviously makes more horsepower, 966 versus 930, so 30 more horsepower, but don't really care. And so we tame that down. This is our torque, which is less, obviously same amount of torque basically, and 1055 up there. You can just pull a couple random plugs because all the plugs look about the same, just to see if we can see if it's changed timing a little bit. Yeah. Well, I think that it's. Did you leave that one breathe? You left the one breather out, right? Or one carbon out? I saw it smoking a little bit.
Yep.
Okay. No problem.
It's relatively close to the fuel line regarding it was off that other engine.
Carburetors. It's the miracle of carburetors. Self-calibrating.
I told Aiden that this morning, and he's like, "No, it doesn't make sense." I said, "The more air that goes through, the more fuel that goes with it."
It's the most amazing thing you ever seen in your life.
See, what's weird though is like, why is it on this first?
Let's throw a new plug in it. All right, so what we're doing here is we're just going to do a steady state pull. Now we've taken some more timing out of it because we don't want to hurt this thing. I'm going to tell you about the combination here next. A little bit of oil leak or something there. So that's just steady state at 5,500 RPM, not wide open throttle. They just wanted to see oil pressure, and I never saw oil pressure flicker or do anything, which I would think it's pretty good right there. So we'll see what they come up with here. But this is 12-to-1 engine. Now, why is it 12-to-1 with boost? Now, typically we wouldn't do that. Why is it that way? Elevation. So the salt flats are super high. less air density, less horsepower, less air density, can live with more compression. How many cubic inches is this?
417.
417. So the higher compression is because of the density altitude at Salt Lake. Problem is density altitude is real good here where we're testing. Okay, so here we're at like 600 to 1,000 feet, especially today, and up there they're going to be 5,000, 6,000 feet. All right, and that's not the actual height. That is what the roughly what the DA number is, density altitude number. Okay, so put more time or more compression ratio in it to compensate for the lack of air density up there, but here it's really good. So we got to take a bunch of timing out of it, and we want to make sure we don't break it here before we take it up there. Now, what we want to do there is then this thing it has that little bit of a random and then it's got more and more. So really should take some spark plugs out and see if it's just a little hot on spark plugs. And that's part throttle. That's why when it didn't go to wide open throttle, that's what we're trying to figure out is it doesn't get total fuel distribution at part throttle. Because it quite literally is about half throttle. So the secondaries aren't open. So probably picking on back cylinders if anything. So let's take front and pull out some easy to get to back spark plug, maybe. And what's leaking oil up there?
Valve cover gasket. So what I think, because that one I think was pinched. So, but at the same as I think that we just need more evacuation out of it. So, because right now we got that fuel pump one plumbed up to that valve cover, the other valve cover. I mean, that's our only
everything's
pressure relief.
Valve cover, yeah.
So I think it's just.
Yeah.
Now it didn't pop that out, which is weird because it should have just pushed that rubber grommet out before it pushed a valve cover gasket. But
yeah, what grommet you have in it?
it's just that rubber gasket or rubber grommet with the.
With a fitting in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad, but you left this grommet out altogether,
Yeah,
right?
this is open. So.
Yeah, so it has an open valve cover. They're going to work on putting proper crankcase evacuation in the car when it's in the car. Here we've just left it out, actual hole fitting out. So it's just a hole in the valve cover about yay big, 1-inch hole. And honestly, then we can see what's going on because if it's breathing really hard, it'll actually just breathe real hard from that spot in the valve cover. So not a big deal. Now these are also brand new spark plugs. So you put brand new spark plugs in it right before we did that. And that is did you say you have more or just one set total?
No, we had another set.
Yeah, we have another set too.
Well, this is on one of the back. Why don't you pull out one of the fronts and we'll just kind of see. Then also pull out on Andy's side, like one of the center ones on Andy's side. Nope.
Those are the worst to get to.
Those are the worst to get to? Sounds like an Andy problem. So looks like it's got temperature. I'm gonna go cut this spark plug apart. We love doing that here. And we'll look at where the fuel is at. All right, so that is our plug. And I would actually read that as it's just full on rich. They might have had that little bit of misfire just because it's rich. It doesn't have any timing in it. So, what do you think about that, Aiden?
Pretty crazy.
It's rich. Which is good. Got another one?
It's a front one on the there.
Yeah, it's definitely just rich. It probably has a little misfire because it's rich. So, all right, that's cool. Better than being lean. Like the other little small block Chevrolet just got done with. I think it was lean.
Hey Steve, we have some questions from the last video about the small block on the dyno.
Okay. Go ahead.
This guy Jay asked, would a carburetor benefit from a velocity stack? Would it increase the Venturi effect?
Okay. Yes, the typically pretty minimal amount that you would see from a velocity stack on a carburetor like that. But the more important point to think of is We have this cool velocity stack, and it's pulling air around to suck into the carburetor. Okay, how often does your engine sit perfectly still right here so air can just go right into it? Isn't it always going down the track? Isn't air going over the top of it? What happens when you, why don't you try this at home? Take your air gun and blow air across the top of a glass of water and see if it pulls the water out with it. Okay, so whatever's going on up there, the velocity stack can work. It can be a little beneficial, but anything that's going forward, or as well, since every car in the world goes basically forward, we race them all forward, not backwards, needs to have some kind of hood scoop in order to make air to direct into there. The velocity stack works on a dyno, but since we don't race dynos, not really the best application. If you can get it up into some kind of curve, nice velocity stack into the bottom of a hood scoop, that's cool, that's beneficial, but the hood scoop is what makes all the difference in the world in a carburetor.
Now, how would that work with like a supercharger bell that's facing back?
Supercharger bells are different because typically I've never seen a supercharger or a turbocharger facing directly straight up with the air inlet being straight up with the air going across the top of it. Usually they're always going with air going in it. So that's what I would call frontal air going into the engine, and going into the supercharger or turbocharger is frontal air. Or my NACA ducts that are up here, I built my NACA ducts so they actually have a back wall on the NACA duct that directs air down into it. So that's why the NACA ducts, go look at that on my website. Those are for sale right now too. Carbon fiber, super cool. But that's why it works on turbo supercharger stuff, is because of you still need to have some kind of air going into it, not over the top of it, not around it, not beside it, anything like that. Oh, and since I'm standing here, you're seeing I'm just doing service and getting the car ready to go test. I got a whole video coming up on everything involved in order to get a car like this just to the track. You don't just park the car in here and go, oh, hey, I think I'm gonna go testing. Let's go testing. Or, oh, hey, I think I'm gonna go for a race. Go race. There's so much involved in this whole thing, for maintenance and getting everything all sorted out on it. So I'm gonna show you everything there, including I fixed my brakes, I fixed my seatbelt issue, I fixed a couple things that I'm gonna show you. It's really cool. And I'll show you things that are all involved on Thursday's video. And another update on the Better Half Camaro. Now back to Bailey and his salt flat engine, which is interesting. It's kind of cool. So we ran it for a little while with exhaust off it, but it just fills the dyno room with exhaust.
Gotcha.
So no sense doing that. At least now we can see our numbers. We don't get too hung up on the squiggly lines. I'm not sure. I think it's trying to sweep so low, so slowly. 10 pounds of boost, 17 pounds fuel pressure, 68 psi oil pressure. All right, new O2 sensors. Got to put the exhaust back on. We'll wire it back on. Slowing it down, and it did hit this point right up here. And did you hear it? I think it's if I had to actually guess, I'd say it probably doesn't have enough timing in it to run. just loaded up hard enough. It's got enough fuel in it. Let's see if my stupid O2 sensor works. Oil pressure is still climbing.
Right.
7,000. Still climbing the whole time. 12 pounds of boost. Yeah, I don't think it hardly has enough timing to run.
Right.
So intercooled C16. Only 20 degrees of timing on a small block, even though it's got a bunch of compression ratio. That's what we're just trying to help figure it out. Is it normally at 12 pounds of boost on a small block Chevrolet like that would probably take 30 degrees of timing or so. So even more with that fuel and that low a boost level. The compression throws us off for a loop, but we're just, you definitely don't want to hurt the thing before you get up there. But oil pressure is definitely flat. That's definitely not any type of problem. That was only 13 seconds long, but I don't think it's gonna do anything weird myself. How many passes did you get to make down there? Many as you want, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I have to make, well, I got to make licensing passes. So that's the thing. Like I'll start out on the short course and I got to do, I think they'll give me,
Is that like short?
I think I'll get a,
starting on a short bus.
yep, exactly. It's a 3 mile course
gotta-
instead of a
you gotta
5 mile.
Start on the short bus.
So, and I think they'll give me the pass to 150 and then I have to make a 175 mile an hour run. Or I think maybe they'll give me the pass to 125.
Giving you the pass to 100 or something. You got to make a 150 and then a 200.
A 150, a 175, and then a 200. So that's 3 passes at that. And then before we go to the big course, and then that'll be possibly a 225 before the record run. So, so there'll be multiple passes. And the thing is, with no data log though, it's all going to be like, all right, well, it seems like give it more timing, don't give it more timing. Look at the spark plugs. I mean, that's really all we got to go by. Obviously, I'll be able to watch the O2 sensor in the car like that. I mean, that's not controlling anything on the car, but I mean, we can obviously record that with a GoPro or whatever, and then be able to play that back and just see where the O2 sensor was. And I mean, we can go, because I mean, you can do timing to fix the O2, right? So.
Yeah, because it's super rich. That's why it runs bad like that. We're under time, super rich. So I'd say, because we don't want to hurt it down here before you go. So I was watching it. It's not breathing or doing anything weird. So yeah, I mean, I think this thing would be all over 1,200 horsepower here if it had timing in it.
Right.
So that, I think if you start putting, well, just make your 150 run. Even running as poor as it is right here, it still makes 900 horsepower.
Right.
I think you can do that and then just start putting a little timing in it if it feels like it needs more. Read the plugs. You're going to look at your O2, probably in that 12, anywhere in that 12's range is going to be pretty good. 12 or 12.5 is pretty nice.
Cool. All right, let's take it off the stand.
Job done. Thank you, sir.
Now we gotta get it in the car.
All right. You got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Exactly.
Probably take a couple days off. Probably got some kind of trip you need to go make
Exactly. Yep.
before you can come back. Then you can start working on it on Friday morning.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you to talk?
I know.
Is your stuff ever ready before you leave?
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So we're all done. Proved out what we needed to prove. That's a really long pull right through there. Oil pressure looks great, so it made some changes. I think everything is really good there. Makes more horsepower than what they need right now. So that whole squiggly graph right there, that is all just from a ill-running, under-timed, over-rich engine. We can keep on working on the tune, but it doesn't even do anything that they want it to do. So I think they're going to go ahead and, well, I know they're going to go ahead. That thing makes 900 horsepower here running poorly. It's going to make a whole lot more running good. Probably up in that 1200 area, I would think, with timing, and that's pretty common. It's something that it's probably 10 to 15 degrees short on timing, even at that compression, which is real interesting. But C16 is a super tolerant fuel, so if you could run the math on what the I could probably run the math on what a dynamic compression ratio is, or at least get close to what a dynamic compression ratio is, meaning what kind of actual cylinder pressure is that running. And the base compression ratio is a multiplier of it. So even though it's 12 to 1, where I normally would be like 10 to 1 on this thing, but that thing, 10 to 1, C16, intercooled, on C16, I already said that. So C16 intercooled, 12 to 1 or 10 to 1 compression ratio. That thing would have had 34 degrees of timing in it, point blank. So the 12 to 1 compression ratio, I'm not 100% sure how much it would change it, because I normally just don't do that. But I'm sure it doesn't change at 14. So I think it's definitely way under timed, and they'll definitely pick up, solid a couple hundred horsepower and run a ton better. But I think they'll just figure that out over there. Better to just play it 100% safe and not hurt any parts than it is to hurt something, a few days before they got to go. So, anyways, they're gonna get this thing all unhooked, load up, take back off to the other side of the state. So, if you got any questions, any comments, feel free to leave some, and maybe we'll do another question and answer on the next video. So, anyways, on the next video, I think we should have we're gonna have another better half Camaro update. They actually asked me for the tune-up for the car to start. We'll see. I'm Steve Morris. Have a great day.